I posted about this over the weekend. It went viral. And you know what? I fucking love it. And I wish we had the balls to say something like that in Canada. The Danish Prime Minister seeks to extend the religious full-face veil ban to educational institutions. For the people that didn't know this, I didn't know this, that since 2018, Denmark has had a burqa ban. So 7 years. In the past couple of weeks, it started trending again because the PM is like, it's not enough. And before I tell you what she wants, this article was very cool in explaining that she's not a conservative. Just so you know, that woman is not a conservative. She's a fucking socialist feminist.
This should be a feminist issue. This should be a feminist issue. This should be the left who are leading the cause against this.
Listen to this. However, Frederiksen, who is also the leader of the country's Socialist Democrat Party, wants to change this, stating that limiting the ban in this way has been a mistake. There are gaps in the legislation that allow Muslim social control and oppression of women at educational institution in Denmark. So basically, you have a fucking socialist Democrat that's obviously a feminist that is finally talking some fucking sense, saying this needs to stop because it's oppressing women.
It's against our values. Period.
But can
it's
you
against
imagine?
Our values.
Our conservatives don't even have the balls to talk about this, and you have a social democrat in fucking Denmark that has the balls to say this. She's saying that on Thursday she seeks to extend the 2018 niqab ban to educational institutions and remove prayer rooms, citing concern about social control and oppression.
I mean, this is literally what we talk about. What we mean when we say, you know, if people are coming to the West, they need to share Western values. It is not a Western value to cover women from head to toe, and that is not their decision in the vast majority of the cases. It is the man's decision in their life, whether it's the father or their husband. That's not Western values, and it's entirely appropriate to say no. We don't do this. If you want to cover your women, you can stay in whatever country you come from and do that there. We don't cover our women here.
In Denmark, they're saying that we need to ban the burqa. Here is fucking Montreal. Do you remember Carney said Muslim values are Canadian values?
These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
Check this out. Tell me if that looks like Canada to you.
That's not Western values, man. To cover a woman from head to toe.
Dan fucking Mark, a social democrat, is telling us that we need to do more. We need to enforce that ban in school as well. Remove prayer rooms. In Canada, we have them walking everywhere, and our prime minister is saying Muslim values are Canadian values. Hey, get the fuck out.
No, they aren't. Yeah, they are not. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but like any truthful assessment of the situation will tell you that they are not one and the same. So, you know, it's not our values to have women covered their entire body except for their eyes. In many cases, there's like a screen covering because even their eyes are too alluring. The theory is, well, men can't control themselves if they see a woman who's dressed normally. So, like, no, maybe in your shithole country, that's the case. But we do not treat our women like that. That's not one of our values. And it should be the left who is leading the charge on this. And instead, the left continues to be schizophrenic and champion these causes of people who actually hate each other. They'll demand that you allow open borders, unchecked immigration to people who then come in here and want to throw gay people off buildings and oppress women and treat them like property. And it's just, the left has gone schizophrenic, and all the left is about now is self-hate. It's about hating the West, hating ourselves. That's why they hate Christianity, but they love Islam. They love every religion except for Christianity. I'm an atheist. I'm not a Christian, but that's wrong. It offends my sense of justice and fairness.
Hold on. Let me piss you off even more, because thank you for the pass. You just allowed me to put this one. So keep that in mind. Yep. Denmark is saying no to burqa, no more burqas in school.
Yep.
Carney is saying that Muslim values are Canadian values, and we see women in burqa walking down the street protesting something that we don't understand what it is in Montreal. Yet, Pride Toronto has naked dudes again.
What does that have to do with equal rights, man? What does that have to do with any of it? It's just perverts at this point. It's just fucking degenerates and perverts who want to play their fetish out in public.
This is the left for you, right? Women should be allowed to wear nothing, but our dudes should be allowed to wear nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's a good point. And it's so ridiculous. Like there's no coherence to any of left-wing ideology these days other than self-hate. It just oppose anything to do with the West. And that's it. I'm followed by a ton on X of what you might call the normal gays. And they are sick of this shit. They want nothing to do with Pride anymore because they'll be the first to tell you it's just a bunch of fetishes and creeps who are out there displaying their fetish in public. And these are the same guys that were flashing kids in the park 10 years ago and running from the cops. And now they get to do it with police protection down the main streets of our cities.
While having the Toronto Pride Parade subsidized by taxpayers' money because Olivia Child, the mayor of Toronto, has replaced the money they lost from their private sponsorship, aka Home Depot, and other private companies that will not support this shit anymore.
And they're canceling Canada Day celebrations and fireworks all over the country, but there's plenty of money for this. And it makes you wonder where the fuck is our priorities? Like what is going on here, right?
You know exactly where our priorities are. They're right there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's with the creeps and the fetishists and the guys who want to put women in full body burqas and basically oppress them and keep them as property.
You know what I like the best, and that's the irony that nobody seems to talk about, is that Carney said that Muslim values are Canadian values. Do you think Muslims are okay with a bunch of naked dudes? Don't forget the fact that they're gay. Forget the fact that they're gay. Yeah. That they might be trans. Do you think, have you seen a lot of Muslim in Muslim countries just walking around naked?
Yeah. I suspect most Muslims would actually be as offended as we are by that statement, that Muslim values. Because they look at that and they say, that's Canadian values. That's not our values. We don't want any part of that.
But that's the irony of it all. And it's hard for me to believe that there's not an agenda to have people like you and I just lose their fucking shit. Because wherever I look, I'm like, no. Pride is a sin, but I think a bit of pride is okay, as in, you know what? Self-respect. Like, I will honor my family. I'll honor the people that I love by not acting like a fucking moron in day-to-day life, by not exposing myself to children. Like, how much common sense do you fucking need in order to know that this is not okay? I don't want to see a bunch of naked dudes walking down the street. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't want to see a bunch of naked women walking down the street either.
Any diverse society has to keep its public spaces as neutral as possible. You can't be doing things to like celebrate one identity group, especially if you're not allowing another identity group to do the same thing. And you have to keep civil society civil. You have to keep, you can't allow just fucking perverts and creeps just to like run around fucking naked at an event that's open to kids and shit. Like the left has effectively turned any sort of safeguarding for children into like a right-wing thing, and that's bullshit. It doesn't have to be like that. You can be a liberal and still have just basic decency and not be a fucking degenerate. But the left is making it hard these days.